Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 61 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
If you are brand new to the show, my name's Ryan, this is Sian. We've been going for about a year now. We're well aware that the documentary Welcome to Wrexham's out this week, and we're picking up new sort of followers all the time. So if you are new, we are a podcast and available wherever you normally get your podcasts. We are a YouTube channel. Just search Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC and you will find us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This is a very safe space for brand new fans. We've got lots and lots of brand new fans who listen to the show, get in touch regularly and that come on and have a chat with us as well. So welcome to if you are new to the show. We've had a bit of a nightmare today, haven't we?
It's been a bit of a Sunday.
Yeah, it's been an absolute day. So normally, for anybody who is new, we do an interview on the show. Normally 15-20 minutes, we'll talk to a fan who's been to the game, or we'll talk to somebody who's written a book about Wrexham, or whatever it might be. We talk to somebody for 15-20 minutes. Earlier on today, we did just that. We had a little chat with somebody. We recorded the interview. And then we had a bit of a, let's call it a technical issue. So we lost that recording.
Yep.
We also, because of the technical issue, lost the ability to re-record it, even though the other person was willing to re-record it. So we've had to shelve that for this week. So you just stuck with us for an hour. So
you lucky people.
So apologies for that. But the person who was due on, we are going to get them back on again to have a little bit of a chat with us. But unfortunately, we've been scuppered, absolutely scuppered this week. Yeah. So that is unfortunate.
It's not been good. But
it's not been a good day. And that is on the back of me having COVID all week. I've been really horrendously ill all week. I'm just sort of starting to get back to normality, just about.
Just in time to go back to work tomorrow.
Just in time to go back to work, yes, which is
Monday,
brilliant.
Sorry.
So let's crack on. News. What news has come out this week? So we've had Luke Armstrong.
Yep.
So for anybody who wasn't aware, Luke Armstrong, striker, plays for Harrogate Town. We put in a bid for Luke Armstrong on transfer deadline day. The bid was accepted. Luke agreed personal terms with Wrexham. The deal fell through because we didn't submit the paperwork in time to the Football League. Now, so that was all done and dusted. And then there was a bit of a whisper about an appeal. So the club were going to appeal the decision that he couldn't sign for us because the paperwork was submitted too late. Although we got a statement from the club this week which said the club have determined there is no reasonable chance of success if we were to appeal the EFL's decision to reject the transfer of Luke Armstrong. So in the end, no appeal has gone in. Luke Armstrong is still a Harrogate Town player.
Yeah, he's been named as one of the 22 squad, I believe.
He has. Now, obviously, a very awkward situation. Now, we've seen loads of things flying about on Twitter. Why don't we just sign him in January? Yes, potentially we could sign him in January when the transfer window opens up again. Although the main reason that he was signed was to bolster our attacking options while Paul Mullin was, improving and getting back into training and recovering from his injury that he picked up in the summer. So there is an argument to say, come January,
we might not need him.
We don't really need him.
Oh yeah, we don't need him.
He is more of a long-term option. He's still in his 20s. It's not like he's somebody sort of in the twilight of his career. So it may still happen. at this moment in time, will it happen? Will it? I don't know. I don't know, if I'm perfectly honest. How do you think it feels for him? That's a weird thing, isn't it?
I suppose it's like, you know, if you leave a job or something and then you go back and you're in the office or whatever and everyone's just going, why is he back? And you get a bit of a hard time. But his colleagues at Harrogate Town should understand that that's what football's all about, you know, moving on to different clubs and stuff like that. You know, it's very rare that a footballer starts his career and ends his career at the same...
It's not, but the difference here is once you decide you want to leave and then a club bid for you and you go, yes, I want to go there. Once that happens, invariably you don't have to go back into your club, do you? No. Do you know what I mean? In the situation, so with him, it's very different. You know, he's then got to go back in. I mean, you know, knowing footballers the way footballers are, they probably take the mick out of him for a little bit and then they'll just
with
get on
no
with
offence or harm intentional, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, they probably will have a bit of a dig.
Yeah, so there we go. Luke Armstrong, not our player. Possibly in the future, but at this moment there's no agreement in place to sign him again in January.
No.
It is what it is.
So,
yeah,
on Wednesday, they announced the final 22 squad.
Sort of.
What do you mean? So, oh, actually, no. Yes, 21.
Yeah.
But out of that 21, there's obviously a reason why there was only 21. But
a reason which we now know.
Yes, which we obviously will come on to.
Yeah.
But the 22 squad was missing Billy Waters, Callum McFadzean and Bryce Hosanna.
So let's go through them one by one. So for anybody who's not aware, once the transfer window is closed, clubs are then required to submit their 22-man squad that they will use through until January when the transfer window opens again.
Do they have to do that in the National League as well, or is it just the EFL?
I would have thought they'd have to do it.
I just don't remember.
No, I don't really remember it either. But so you have to submit your 22-man squad. Basically, we had more players than 22, so they were people that we knew were going to miss out. So first one, Callum McFadzean. Don't look at me like that. How do you feel about him missing out?
I'm a bit gutted because, like I keep saying, like he's an OG for me.
Yeah.
You know, he was there from the start of my journey, and I know I'm being overly sensitive, and you know, I know that this is the name of the game, and I know that, but it's still hard knowing that somebody is not. You know, being a footballer is a boy or a girl's dream, isn't it? And
some, yeah.
Well, yeah. So there is one player who he doesn't even watch or like football, does he? He plays.
No, there's quite a few.
Is there?
There's quite a few. Yeah.
So yeah, it must be hard, like getting that kind of notification. You're not in the final 22 squad.
Yeah.
And like for Billy Waters is another one. I know I'm skipping, but he's another one. He only signed 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, there's a few weird things about this. Callum McFadzean, I feel particularly sorry for him because obviously when we won the league last season, Rob and Ryan decided to spoil the players, take them to Vegas, take them on a trip, and they had an amazing time from what we saw, all the videos, pictures, all that sort of thing. Callum McFadzean had an injury, so it was a hernia. And he had a choice. Yeah. He could have gone to Vegas and then had his operation when he come back, or he could miss the trip and have the operation. He decided to miss the trip, to have the operation, to give himself the best opportunity he could to be ready for the new season.
As it turns out.
That's the thing that sort of breaks your heart a little bit, that somebody has made such a sacrifice that they've turned their back on a real trip of a lifetime to go, no, I want to make sure I'm ready for the start of the season. The season starts and they go, oh, by the way, you're not in our plans and you're not in the 22-man squad. That's the bit that's really heartbreaking for me. It is. I find that's out of all of them. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I picked him out. When we were talking about who is going to miss out, I picked him out because I didn't think he was going to make that 22-man squad. But when you couple that with that story I just told, it's just not very nice, is it? You touched on Billy Waters. What do you think about him getting left down?
Well, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one with Billy Waters because, like I said, he's only been signed 4 or 5 months. I can't remember the exact date, but it's been about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Hasn't scored a goal.
No.
In that 4 or 5 months. Is he? I don't know. It's just he's a striker, isn't he?
It was an odd signing for me.
Yeah.
It was an odd signing. It seemed like a bit of a panic signing.
Yeah,
because,
definitely.
There was talk that Mullin potentially might need some knee surgery, and that was the rumour that was sort of flying about. And then there was this panic buy of Billy Waters of if he does need to go before the end of the season, last season. Billy. Let's get someone in. Let's make sure that that we've got cover there. He brought him in. He has played a few games. It's just never really worked for him, has it? You know, he's one. He will run all day. You know, and I like the way that he runs and the effort he puts in.
Yeah.
But we'll come on to the Newcastle under-21s game in a minute. But he had a chance in that game. And it was about 7 yards out, and he put it over the bar. And that was the sort of moment for me that I went, I'm not sure you're getting in this squad. If I'm honest, out of them 3, he was the one I was least convinced wasn't going to make the 22-man squad, though. Because I didn't think Phil was going to ditch a striker out of his 22-man squad. I thought he'd take someone from somewhere else. I thought he'd keep a striker in there. Obviously, we now know another striker's come in, but I just felt as an added extra, I thought maybe we might hold on to Billy, but obviously not. Bryce is the other one. Everyone I mention, you just pull the face.
It's just sad. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I know. People are going shouting at the screen. It's the game. It's the name of the game. I get that it's the name of the game, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't make it harder. Nonetheless, it's just like they're just. I don't know. I think I'm just overly sensitive. And maybe football isn't the game for me because I'm just too sensitive, I think, when it comes to this sort of thing.
Maybe. But again, Bryce was the other one I picked out. I picked out McFancy and I picked out Bryce because basically I was picking out 2 players to make it into a 22-man squad. They made it into a 21 in the end. But 22, it's Bryce and Callum that I picked out of the 2. Now, with Bryce, I think he has bags of talent. I think he's got so much talent. I just think, it just needs cultivating, and it just needs bringing on. And I think he'll be an excellent player in the future. Unfortunately, he's just too injury prone. He is massively injury prone, and I think that is going to affect his development as a player, and I think it's going to affect his progress. And because of that, he's currently injured at the moment. So even if you were to include him, he's not going to play. So I would say it's the most sensible one to leave out of that 22-man squad. And I doubt he is that surprised at getting left down.
It's still sad though. It must still hurt.
Yeah, it probably does. But knowing you're injured and you can't play anyway, and also knowing that you haven't really had that chance to prove yourself because you've been injured, because of that, I just don't think he's had that opportunity to prove himself, to be perfectly honest. So I'm not surprised with any of them 3. But Sian, why did we only name 21 players in a 22-man squad?
Well, Ryan, I shall tell. We have signed, not Ryan and I, but the club have signed ex-Premier League player Steven Fletcher.
We have 36.
36.
And
he was a free agent, so we didn't have to pay anything.
No, we didn't. Look, experience 36. A lot of people will be going 36.
Oh, there was so much like negativity on social media about it, but obviously we are going to be talking about the Doncaster game.
Yeah.
And I thought, I said to you, I didn't say anyone sitting next to me because I didn't have anyone sitting next to me, but I said to you, I said he's going to, I said to my dad as well, I said he is going to be good for this team.
I think he is. I think you're right.
Can you imagine when we've got Mullin at full pelt, James McLean, Steven Fletcher, oh my Christ, it's just going to be off the scale. The goals are going to be banging in at left, right and centre.
I think it's a good signing. I think it's an intelligent signing. I think he brings... People are very quick to look at...
His age
and his goal ratio as well. So over his career, he's probably averaged 1 in 4, right? Which isn't amazing. Let's be honest, it's not.
No.
But when Ollie Palmer came, his average was 1 in 4 as well. And he scored buckets of goals for us. Yeah, not as many as Paul did, but he scored a lot. I think that dropping down, you know, it is a big difference. You know, dropping down, as long as you can find your feet quickly, I think, you know, definitely. You're buying more than goals with Steven Fletcher. You are buying more than goals with him. It's the experience that you get from somebody who's been around the block. You are getting a lot of experience with him. And I think it's like I say, it's an intelligent signing. And I think it'll work out really well for us.
To be fair, though, like I said, we will be talking a bit more about the Doncaster game, so I won't go too much into it. But seeing him on Saturday, he seemed pretty...
Yeah.
You know, for a 36-year-old, and obviously in football terms, 36 is...
ancient.
Is like, get him in that retirement home. He is no good for nothing.
Yeah.
But he was like, he was good.
It's old for... I mean, he's the same age as Mark Howard. But 36 for a goalkeeper is not massively old. You know, they can go for another 3-4 years after that. For an outfield player, yeah, it's knocking on. Especially an outfield player who's expected to still have a bit of legs, you know, a striker who's expected to still chase stuff down. So, but it is old, but I think it's a good sign.
Yeah,
definitely good
I
sign.
do as well. So more news.
Season 2, the documentary is out. Well, I would say tomorrow. I would say it depends when you're actually listening to this. So in the US, it is out on Tuesday, the 12th.
Yeah.
In the UK, it is out on Wednesday, the 13th. Now, before anybody screams at us as to why is that the case, I think it premieres at 9 p.m. LA time. So 9 p.m. LA time in the US translates at about 4-5 in the morning UK the next day. So that's why there's 2 different release dates. I think it's pretty much getting released at the same time, just because the time zones, it's 2 different dates basically.
I'm excited.
So we've rewatched season.
We have. Yes.
We've rewatched season 1 of the documentary. Did you find it weird watching it for a second time?
A bit, yeah. We haven't got up to the bit where we, or have we? I can't remember. Where we lost the
playoff game.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. We've got 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
We've got Wembley.
Yes, we're on to Wembley just now.
We've got Wembley, we've got the playoff game, and then we've got the final episode as well. I found it strange watching it again because it feels like...
Doesn't it feel like so long ago?
A lifetime ago.
Doesn't it? It's so weird.
It's funny because you sort of see players on the rewatching season 1, you see players on that documentary, and you're going, oh yeah, I forgot about him. Oh, forgot about him.
I think I asked you this. I think, who the hell is he?
Yeah, I think it was... That's the thing. Like, Sian, for anybody, as I say, is new to the podcast, Sian is a new fan. I mean, you're getting there now, but I mean, you know, she's only been sort of like a season and a half as a fan. So, you know, we were watching the documentary again, and she was going, who's he?
I think it was Kwame.
It was Kwame Thomas. I think you
I
asked.
was like, who's he? I don't know who he is.
I think you were asking about Devontae Redmond as well.
Still don't know.
Yeah. And then, did you ask about Paul Rutherford as well, or did you remember who Paul Rutherford was?
I think I remember who Paul Rutherford was because of him playing in. Did he play in the friendly pre-season? Or that old players?
No. I think he was no, I don't think so. I can't remember.
Oh, anyway, I do remember him.
Yes.
Yeah. But I've never seen him playing or anything like that.
No.
I just remember. I think I remember it because it was such a. It was his last game, and it was he'd literally been on the pitch for like 10 minutes, not even that, and he got a red card and he was off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How do you think this one's going to be received?
Well, we're on it.
I hope we're on it as well.
I mean, how many fan cams did we do?
We did 2 fan cams, I think, at 2 games. Did we do York away?
We did York away.
And I think we did a home one, but I'm sure we did one game that was awful. I'm sure we did. And because the game was so poor,
There's not going to be much footage, is there?
They let us do another one, which was York away, I think. I can't remember.
So, yeah, I mean, hopefully. I mean, Ryan had hold of it, so no doubt it'll be mostly him on it. So,
yeah.
Which is, exactly what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just a little bit of sort of personal news. We got to it's been a while since we've done anything in any podcast charts.
Yeah, it has actually.
But we got to number 11 this week in the Swedish podcast chart. So hello if you're in Sweden. Please send us a message. Let us know what your name is. Oh, wait, I don't think we've ever had a message off of someone from Sweden, have we?
Could be Ulrika Johnson. She's Swedish, isn't she?
Yeah, maybe. Does she live in Sweden? She lives over here, doesn't she?
I have no clue. She's just the only one that I can think of that's Swedish.
Oh, God. Right. Yeah. So, games this week.
There's been a few. Well,
yes, 2. So, we had the EFL Trophy game on Tuesday night. There's a little bit of a boycott of EFL Trophy games at the moment. So the boycott is because a few years ago, under-21 teams were introduced into the competition. So a lot of fans were quite angry that under-21s and academy teams had been added into the competition. So they decided to boycott the competition altogether. That's why you find a lot of reduced attendances at EFL Trophy games. We didn't attend. That wasn't because we were boycotting it. We didn't attend because I was horrifically ill with COVID. But we watched it on the TV.
We did.
Didn't we? Another thing I wanted to mention is people are going, so what if under-21 teams are in the competition? That is a very legitimate question. The reason is, quite a few years ago, the FA wanted to introduce under-21 teams to lower league football. Mm-hmm. So i.e. where we've got Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2 and then National League, the FA either wanted to start putting under-21 teams into the National League or under-21s and academy teams into a new Division 3, which sat below League 2, above the National League. There was massive opposition to this. So when they start introducing under-21 teams into the EFL Trophy, a lot of people saw this as a little bit of a backdoor for the FA to start going, oh, well, you've let them into this competition, so why don't we, push them forward into that? That's why a lot of people boycott this competition, just so we've got full visibility of what it is. So, Okonkwo made his debut.
Yeah, he did.
Thoughts on the young man, the young big man?
He is tall.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest things, was he is huge.
Yeah.
What did I think of his performance? I don't think if he watched this, I don't think he would mind me saying it, because I think he said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
He said that he made a few mistakes.
Yes.
He wasn't at his best.
Yeah.
But I purely think that was just nerves.
Yeah.
I think it was a big, even though he plays for Arsenal, he played, he's in Arsenal.
Yeah.
In Arsenal, does that make sense?
In Arsenal's team,
yeah.
squad.
He plays for Arsenal,
Yeah.
which is obviously a Premier League team.
Yeah.
it must be nerve wracking, because I think there will be probably with Steven Fletcher as well, because they're like either Premier or ex-Premier players. It's like they've got this massive expectation of them.
Yeah,
that they're not going to be there to concede goals.
Yeah.
It's
not
Arthur.
Okonkwo.
Arthur.
Yeah. Yes.
Whose birthday it was on Saturday. So happy birthday for Saturday. I don't know. I just think
there was nerves. There was definite nerves there, I think.
I just think there's too much expectations on players like that. Thinking,
he made a couple of mistakes. Nothing massively detrimental. They didn't score from it. He kept a clean sheet. I thought he looked decent. His distribution was very good. Is he going to get into that team ahead of Mark Howard at the moment? No, I wouldn't say so. I think Mark's doing very well at the moment.
I do, but I think Arsenal will have something to say about that.
I think they will definitely have something to say about that if he's not playing regularly. So we will have to wait and see on that one. George Evans made his home debut as well.
I like him.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I think he's very.
Although you said something to me yesterday, which kind of put me off a little bit.
Okay.
Was it you? Somebody said to me that George Evans is ultimately going to be Luke Young's replacement. Was that you?
Yeah. That's one of the. No, it wasn't me. That's one of the comments that somebody who's got in touch. But that's a potential. Yeah. It is a potential. I don't think we saw the best of him on Tuesday night. I thought he was very comfortable on the ball. I like the way he sort of plays balls from defence round the corner straight into the forwards, missing out the midfield. I thought he was very good at that. Ultimately, I'm not sure that's where he's going to be playing. Oh, excuse me. I was just expelling air. No, I'm not sure ultimately that's where he's going to play. I think we've brought him in as a defensive midfielder.
Okay. Who
can play in defence if we need him to. But so I'm not sure we saw the George Evans that we're maybe going to see for the rest of the season. But decent. I thought he was all right.
Oh, so I didn't know this next point. Cannon was ill on Tuesday.
Yeah, he was due to play. So Luke Young was due to have a day off. He wasn't even going to be at the game. And Andy Cannon was going to play, but he was unwell. So we brought Luke in to replace him. I don't know. How would you feel in that position? I think you'd be fuming, wouldn't you? Thinking you got a night off.
Well, I just think he's the captain, isn't he? So it's like when you sign a contract for when you start a job, your hours are
Yeah.
But you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what it said. He's the captain. He's good. He's there to step in. Yeah. I don't think he would have been annoyed.
Maybe. I don't know. What do you make of the game? Me personally, I found it quite underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, there were little bits where it was a bit like, but then I'd say overall it was a bit like, I know it sounds awful, but you kind of go, I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah, it was one of them really where it was, I'm so glad that a lot of people who can't normally get tickets were able to go.
Yeah.
I like that. And I'm not sitting here going, oh, yeah, that's the reason I didn't go, to give other people the chance who don't normally go the chance to go.
No.
Not at all. That isn't the reason why I didn't go. But I do think it's nice that the people who don't normally get a chance to go and watch the team because they can never get tickets at least have a chance to watch the team. That's
I mean, it wasn't all the first team, but
no,
the majority of them there, weren't they?
Yeah, so Sam scored.
Yeah.
I think when he scored, I sort of felt like, oh, here we go. We're going to see a few tonight, because I think with the under-21s teams, yes, they're full of running. Yes, they're going to be, they should be quicker. They should be fitter than a lot of the older guys. But the one thing they don't have is the experience and the know-how on the football field of how to manage a game.
Yep.
You can have a really quick, really skillful player who's up against a 34, 35-year-old wing-back, And the 34, 35-year-old will just have him in his pocket all game because it's not just about being quick and being skillful.
It's about having that experience.
It's about that experience and
Yeah.
knowledge. So when we scored that first one, I sort of felt like we're going to get a few here.
Sorry, my legs are sticking to the chair.
I thought we were going to get a few.
Yeah.
And it just never really happened for us, did it?
No.
I'm glad Sam got a goal.
Yeah.
Because I really felt that Sam needed a goal.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Yeah, I felt like he needed it just to kickstart his season. A few people getting on his back. Maybe me, to an extent. I have started wondering a little bit whether he's up to the challenge of, another step up into League Two. Is he ready for that? Is he, has he got the skill for that?
Where did he come from?
Southend. They were National League as well.
I know.
Yes. Yeah, so I have started questioning that in my own mind, and I know a lot of other people are quite happy to put me in my place and said, look, it's just a form thing, and it's, it will come, but it is still there for me. I haven't seen it yet. I'm more than happy to be proved wrong with Sam, and I would love to be proved wrong. I don't want, I do like being right, as you well know, but I don't feel that. I just want to be proved wrong, and I want to see him do something, but I just haven't seen it yet. So,
well, we're only a little bit little into the season, so there's time.
Yes. So anyway, won our first game in the EFL Trophy. It's a little mini league, so there's 3 teams in that league. So it wasn't a case of Newcastle under-21s aren't knocked out because we've beat them. They've got another couple of games, and then it's a mini table. And then the top 2 from the league go through into a knockout phase, and yada, yada, yada. Let's move on.
Distractions. But let's talk about Doncaster.
Yeah. Well, we had a big shock, didn't we? So.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're all sitting there, we're all standing there, we're having a drink, having some food before the game inside the stadium, and there's these little whispers. It's like, what's going on? Something's going on. You could feel it, couldn't you? You could feel the energy around the place. And as it turned out, Super Paul Mullin
was on the bench.
Back.
Well, he's on the bench.
Well, he's back, isn't he? He's back. He's full on back.
I'm so gutted he didn't get a goal. I just thought that would be such a momentous moment for him, coming back after being injured.
Yeah.
And getting a goal for the team, but
I was shocked and not shocked, because I said to you, didn't I? I think Paul Mullin's recovery is further ahead than they're letting on of how far ahead that he is with his recovery. And
what do you mean he was
better than they were making out? Yeah, I thought that.
Oh, I thought. Sorry, when you were saying that, I thought you meant that they were saying his recovery was further on than it actually is.
No. I felt he was further on in his recovery than he actually was.
Why would they be keeping that to themselves, though?
Why not? Why would they want to release everything into the world? Why would they want everyone to know what everyone to know? It's not just Wrexham fans who get to hear this, it's everybody. Why would you want everybody to know your business? I just felt he was coming back sooner.
I don't think there was any indication or anything that he was going to be on that bench.
No, oh God, no. I like I said, I thought he was further on than they were trying to make out that he was.
But you didn't think he'd be on the bench?
I didn't think he'd be on the bench for the Doncaster game. No, but Super Paul Mullin's back.
Oh, do you know what? When he came on, I can't remember. It was quite late on in the game, wasn't it?
An hour.
Yeah. Was it? God, I didn't see it. That time just went like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was absolute uproar.
Yeah.
Positive uproar, not like angry uproar. He came on and everybody stood up, clapped him. It was a momentous occasion.
It was crazy. We had Steven Fletcher on the bench as well, which again, little bit of a shock because he's had no pre-season, Steven Fletcher, at all. So he was with Dundee United previously. He left Dundee United at the end of his contract. didn't have a club, so he didn't have all of the pre-season
Just
preparations.
been sitting at home in his pants.
Pretty much been sitting at home in his pants. Yeah, I would say that's what he's been doing. And yeah, so his fitness isn't going to be quite there. I heard the Phil Parkinson interview after the game. He'd sort of asked him, have you got 15, 20 minutes in him? And he goes, yeah, 100%.
Who wouldn't say that,
though? So yeah, he was on the bench. Right, where do I send? We've got to talk about this sensitively, because there's a lot of abuse flying about here. Maka was at left wing back, right? So, what's your thoughts on Liam McAlinden?
I like him.
Okay.
I do like him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him. I don't want to delve into it any more than that.
Okay.
I felt. Do you know what? I felt angry.
Yeah.
About listening. It just really gets my goat, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
When people, I know, they're footballers, and if they don't do a job, it's like, people go at them. It just makes me angry. Yeah. I think Liam did really well on Saturday. He might have made a couple of mistakes, but, other people, like Palmer, he made a few mistakes. I just think, I just stop gunning for them all the time.
Yeah. I think the reason he was kept in the squad, the 22-man squad, is his versatility. He played on Tuesday in the against Newcastle under-21s. Yeah. He played in the middle, so I think he played. Yeah, he played as a central midfielder. We signed him as a striker.
Really?
He is playing at the moment as a left wing back. So I very much think it's his versatility that's keeping him. I'm not sure he is fantastic in any of the positions that we play him. I think he will do a job, but there are better players. In whatever position we play in, we have better players to play in them positions. I was a little bit disappointed that Mendy wasn't in the squad on Saturday.
Now, that's because he was. I know that he wasn't in the final squad of the Gambia
national team.
Yeah,
he was called up for the Gambia team.
I'm assuming he's still over there, is he?
Perhaps. I don't know. But then when they announced the final 23-man squad for their international games that they had coming up, he wasn't in that. So I don't know. It's one of them. He wasn't even in the squad. I'm not a massive fan of this whole, right, we're going to take 30 players away with us, and then we're going to announce a 23-man squad and leaving 7 players who could have been playing for their club, when you could have just made a decision on a 23-man squad prior to... It is what it is. Palmer and Dalby up front. Why the bloody hell are we doing that again?
Yeah, it's not working.
It's not working.
It's not working.
At all. It really isn't. I mean, and I'm not being offensive to you, but when somebody like you can see that it's not working, I just don't understand why we're persisting with it.
I'm not sure who it is, though.
It sounds mean, but I mean, you're new to football. You're still learning stuff. You're still trying to get to grips with certain elements of the game. But for somebody like you who is still learning, to look at that and go, that doesn't work... someone of your level of understanding
someone of your intelligence.
It feels like I keep digging the hole, but I'm not. I think so. What I'm saying is, for you, if you can see that, everyone can see it's not working at the moment.
Who is obviously one of the, they're both good players.
Yes.
But who's causing the dynamic not to be there? Is it Palmer? Is it Dalby?
No, I don't think it's either of their fault. I think they're both the same player. You've very much got...
You don't need both of the same player up front.
No, you don't. You've got 2 very big, tall individuals that you can use as a target man. That you can, they can run in behind, but you can play long balls up to them. And one of their, they can knock it down onto somebody running onto it. I just feel like they're both the same sort of player, and having both of them, I think Bickerstaff playing with one of them was the answer before we saw Paul come back. I think that was very much that. So why we're persisting with doing it the way that we've done it in previous weeks, I really don't know, if I'm honest. But it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, we keep saying trust. Parky we trust. I think he, he's obviously got a lot more experience than we have in the management footballing world. So there's obviously a reason why he's done that. But now, obviously, that Mullin is back, that dynamic is obviously going to change again.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Do you expect to see Paul starting next game, or do you think he's had half an hour? Maybe he just needs a little bit longer.
I don't know. They're going to be training obviously this week, aren't they?
Yeah.
Up until the point of Saturday's game against Grimsby. I don't know. It's quite a big game, biggish game, isn't it, against Grimsby?
Yeah, it's an important one.
It's an important game. So it's like, would he want to be out of that, or would he? I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of them wait and see things. You asked me the most difficult questions.
I'm going to ask you an even more difficult one now, and this is perhaps.
Is this going to make me cry? Make me cry? Question.
Possibly, yeah.
Oh.
It's one of them sort of questions.
Okay.
So we saw Aaron Hayden going off injured.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I think he went off after about half an hour, something like that, somewhere around there anyway. And he didn't go down from a big challenge. It very much similar to what he's gone down in the past, where he just starts to limp. He knows something's gone, and hand up, trainer comes on, and he's gone.
But the fact that he could tell, maybe he's caught it in time, and it just needs a little bit of,
Let's do worst case scenario. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's say he's out for another couple of months again. Okay, that which is worst case scenario. Where does that leave his long-term future at Wrexham?
I mean, I've been going now since the 21-22 season.
Yeah.
I think possibly, he's probably been out more than he's been in. So Parky may have to think, although when he's on the pitch, he's an awesome player and he's such a benefit to the team, you've just got to think of the bigger picture. How many times is he going to be out with an injury? Can we afford to keep having him out for an injury? He's such an important, integral part of the team.
Yeah.
I just think, I hate to say it, but I think that, the club might cut their losses and just say,
it's a very
it's just
difficult
not working.
one. He is so good in the air.
He is.
And he's so good from the corners and the long throws. I think his defending has improved loads since he's been with us. I just think it's so difficult to have a player like that at a club, because he's such a nice guy as well, that we've seen on the documentary.
Yeah, he's so down to earth and
his
this homely guy.
Yeah, his injuries are so disruptive to that team. He doesn't mean to be disruptive,
No.
but his injuries are so disruptive. If this is a long-term injury again, then that's the third season in a row that we're going to lose him for months on end. This time, he hasn't even been back that long, and he is potentially gone again. And I just think, I don't even want to say it out loud, but how can you have a player like that long term in your squad?
I don't know.
I just, how does it work? It doesn't, does it? You can't keep having a player who you are treating for an injury, comes back and picks up another injury.
It's like Harry Lennon, wasn't it? I mean, he had to make the ultimate decision, I need to...
Bloody hell, he's only 24 though, Hayden.
I know, but, I mean, Harry Lennon's not that old.
He's in his 30s, I think.
Is he?
Late 20s, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Let's move on from that, because it's quite a difficult conversation. We might have to come back around to that one. So Young scored on 37 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll say it's Young. I've seen the replay quite a few times. I very much think it's a goalkeeper own goal. I don't think that's Young's goal, but we'll give it him. He can have it You can have my blessing to have that one.
I'm sure he's very happy about that.
I very much think that's the goalkeeper's own call there, but we'll let him have that one.
Oh,
what were we feelings at half time?
Well, it was 1-1, wasn't it, at half time?
No, it was 1-0 at half time.
Yeah, it was 1-0 at half time. Sorry. Yeah, I was a bit. I thought the first half was like, oh, do you know what? It's going to go all right, this game.
Yeah.
Doncaster, do you know what? I mean, everyone was saying Doncaster are playing terribly at the moment.
Yes.
But I don't think they played awfully.
No, they weren't awful, but we definitely should have scored more than we did.
Oh, without a doubt, we
Yes.
should have been, you know, with our calibre of team and our squad, I think, yeah, we should have probably scored a few more. But it was 1-0 going into half time.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that we would have at least 3 more goals in the second half.
Yeah, I thought we'd have a few more as well. I thought it's one of them games, but I was just grateful to take the 1 into half time. I thought we'll take that. We'll push on in the second half, get a couple more, make it nice and comfortable. I thought it was an important game to stamp our authority on, to show not just the opponents you're playing, but the rest of the league of going, look, we're starting to hit our stride now, and you know, and I just felt it was important to do that. Didn't really happen though. Come out in the second half, I think they were pretty much on top. Scored after about 7 or 8 minutes, I think, in the second half to make it 1-1. After that, they just sort of backed off a little bit and they just let us have it. And we just pushed and we sort of huffed and puffed and we didn't really get anywhere.
No.
Mullin came on and he was a little bit off the pace, I think, you know, and his touch wasn't.
You've got to be dubious though, haven't you? You've got you're the last game the competitive game that you played.
You got smashed.
You got smashed in the ribs, and you've been punctured lung in hospital.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be a bit like,
he was definitely, you know, he wasn't quite on it. I don't think,
No.
And you know, which will come with time. And then I just didn't think it was going to happen. And then obviously Lee pops up with a little deflected effort, 88 minutes. Didn't feel as late as that, to be honest.
No, it didn't.
I thought, God, that, you know, the game sort of flew by. I think Lee just steps up every time, and he's really been the one.
For the size he is, he's dynamite.
I think he's dragged this team a little bit this season. You know, and he's pulled us out of situations a few times.
Definitely the player of the season so far for us, I reckon.
Yeah, you can't really use player of the season terminology after 7 games,
Yes,
can
you
you?
can.
Okay.
So far, I said.
Okay. So we're 7th in the table. We're 3 points off top. The average points we've got at the moment is enough for the playoffs, or would have been last season.
Yeah.
We're still not quite clicking. Do you think Mullin's the missing piece, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Like I said, when
Fletcher came on though, and he was decent.
Oh no, he was good. This is what I'm gonna say. Like when McLean's back from international duty.
Yeah.
Whatever you call it.
No, that's right.
Is that what it's
called?
Yeah. And we've got Steven Fletcher on the pitch, and we've got Mullin, and obviously all the like Tozer with his long throws and all that kind of jazz. I just think it'll be like when we obviously bought Mullin in, and then we bought Palmer.
Yeah.
And it was just like bang. It was just like that relationship was just.
Yeah, you think
it gelled. I just think that.
I think we're getting there.
Including George Davis, George Evans as well, and all that. All the newbies. I just think I'm excited.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
I think we are.
I'm excited to see what comes.
Just a quick one. So, preview of Grimsby Town that we're playing on Saturday, the 16th of September. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff, which is obviously available on iFollow for all the international fans. They were promoted from the National League via the playoffs in 2022 after beating us 5-4 in the playoff semi-final, which is obviously the culmination of the Welcome to Wrexham series, season 1, which was a disgusting day in our lives. They drew 1-1 with Bradford on Saturday. Their record at the moment is 1-2, drawn 1 and lost 1. They're 12th at the moment in League 2.
Okay.
Last season they finished 11th, so quite middle of the table. I think for them to have come out of the National League, finished mid-table, top half really, isn't it? They finished
Yeah.
last season. They're top half at the moment. I think that's probably decent for them.
Yeah.
Harry Clifton was their top scorer last season with 7. Their top scorer this season is Abo Issa with 5.
Oh God.
He's the brother of Mo Issa,
great.
who plays for MK Dons. Who's already scored against us this season.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. What's your prediction for the game?
Ooh, yeah. Going by what position? See, this is a difficult one because it is such an important game, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to 2-1 to us, obviously.
2-1 Wrexham.
Yes.
You keep saying it. This is an important game for us. Why? Why do you think this is an important game for us?
Because they beat us 5-4 in the playoffs.
You think it's an important game because of revenge?
No.
No.
I think it's important because...
There's no right or wrong. You're looking at me like I'm a teacher. There's no right or wrong answer, but you've said it. You feel this is an important game quite a few times.
Okay,
I want to know why you think
it's an important game.
Yeah.
Game because it will possibly gauge where we are going to be at the end of the season.
Do you think?
No, I don't know. I just thought that sounded really intelligent.
No, you keep saying no like I'm going to go, no, wrong.
That
wrong.
is incorrect, Sean.
The reason that I think it's an important game, me personally, is that for me, we're starting to put something together as a team. Look, it's not pretty. It's not it's not how I would like games to be ending up. If we go back, Tranmere, 1-0, we should have won that 3 easily. 3-1, 3-0, we should have
still got 3 points though.
Yes, right. And then Doncaster. Again, it should have probably been 3 or 4. With the chances we were creating, the controlling passages of play, I felt like it should have been more.
That was the heat though as well.
Maybe. But sorry, am I making you yawn?
No, I'm just no. It's been a long day.
And I felt it could have been better than 2-1. So we've won 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
We've won 2 in a row at the moment, and I just think to win 3 in a row, you're starting to put some building blocks in place.
We've done it before, so why can't we do it again?
Yeah, it's sort of like all of a sudden you're on a little bit of a roll there, and 2 games, winning 2 in a row, I wouldn't say is on a roll. But
no.
I wouldn't want someone to come along and knock the wind out of our sails. I want 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, and then all of a sudden you're building that momentum. You've got players coming back into the fold who perhaps have, like McLean, who's been away this week, Mendy, who's obviously coming back in as well. Tunnicliffe, potentially. You've got these players coming in, and you're getting on this roll. So I think the 3rd game in a run is important.
So it wouldn't matter who we were playing. It's the point that it's the 3rd game.
Having said that, because of the playoff semi-final, I want to smash them to smithereens as well.
I don't think you'll be the only person thinking that.
I have got nothing against Grimsby, and I don't know how many of their players actually played in that game, to be perfectly honest. I just want to smash them. Absolutely. Just to put that demon to bed.
What's your prediction then? You've gone off on a tangent.
I have. What I want and what I think are 2 different things.
Okay.
I'd love to put 5 past them, right? Okay.
Be realistic.
Just for me to put that to bed in my head and going, right, okay, we did lose that 5-4, but I can forget about that now because we've just put 5 past them. And that'll settle me down and I'll be all right with that. In reality, I would like to see it. Me and clean sheets. I want another clean sheet would be good for me. So I'd like to see us win 2-0.
Okay.
Please. Okay.
I will have a word with the players and see
Yes.
what we can do for you.
Just quickly, people who got in touch, this is the one, I'm only going to read one out, but David Middleton got in touch and said, Evans is Young's replacement. He's bigger, more physical and plays at a higher level. Dalby isn't a long-term solution. That's why Armstrong was sought after. Regardless, there's goals on the pitch. When Super Paul Mullin comes back, it's on like Donkey Kong. It is, David, it is. Just another quick one. Francis Lynch said, we have dropped points to top upper half teams and beaten the lower half teams. The quality of opponents based on form is important. I feel we are doing okay so far.
We're not doing bad.
No, we're not. If you want to get in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or X, TikTok, Threads,
I don't know why you bothered saying that.
or email us at me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com. Quiz. Ooh, let's get the quiz in. Oh no, Dragon Chat. Sorry.
Dragon Chat.
Dragon Chat is a mental health peer support group. They want to run a weekly Zoom call on a Thursday, 7 p.m. till 8:30. The best thing to do for this, because I'm going to run out of time, is follow Dragon Chat Steve Lloyd on Twitter. That is the best thing to do.
Great guy.
Great guy. If you want to talk and you want to talk about your mental health, it is the place to go. It is fantastic. Trust me. Right, quiz time. 2 truths, 1 lie. All you have to do is pick out... No.
The other way round.
2 lies, 1 truth. All you have to do...
We will get this right one day.
All you have to do is pick out the truth.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Wrexham beat Newcastle under-21s in the EFL Trophy on Tuesday night.
We did indeed.
1. It was the first time they had won a game in the EFL Trophy since the 2005 final when we won the competition. 2. The last game we played in the EFL Trophy was a 1-0 defeat to Newcastle United in 2007. Or number 3, there were less people in attendance at the game on Tuesday than the club's first FA Trophy game last season.
I'm going to say 2.
Number 2, the last game played was a 1-0 defeat to Newcastle. That is incorrect. The last game we actually won in this competition was when we won the competition. So it was the final against Southend United. Crazy that, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Number 2, we're due to play Grimsby next Saturday.
Yes.
Number 1, Ollie Palmer spent 13 games on loan at Grimsby in 2015, scoring 13 goals. Number 2, in the 2022 playoff semi-final loss, 3 of Grimsby's goals were scored by ex-Wrexham players. Or number 3, prior to the 9-goal thriller, there had only been 8 goals in the 6 games before that.
3.
Number 3, you are correct.
Yay.
It is number 3. So there was only 2 ex-Wrexham players scored in that game. They're both the same person. It was Waterfall. Idiot.
Waterfall.
Right. Number 3.
Yes.
Series 2 of Welcome to Wrexham starts this week. What is the audience rating of Series 1 on IMDb out of 10? Is it 8.2, 8.7 or 9.2?
I'm going to go in the middle, 8.7.
That is incorrect. It's only 8.2. All the Wrexham haters out there voting
Obviously,
quite low on that.
Yeah.
Stephen Fletcher signed as a free agent on Friday. Number 1. Wrexham are Stephen Fletcher's 12th career club. Number 2, Stephen Fletcher has scored more international goals than James McLean. Or number 3, he has scored more goals in the Premier League than any other league he has played in.
3.
Number 3, scored more goals in the Premier League than any other league he's played in? Correct, he has. Well done.
This is honestly, this is just guessing.
Yes.
Literally is guessing.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know
Total
that.
guess.
Last one. I
Yes.
need an immediate answer from you. 1, 2 or 3, immediately. And you'll see why.
Okay.
So all of the following statements, only one of them is an anagram of the other, okay? Arthur Okonkwo, unhook artwork. Stephen Fletcher, 7th reflection. James McLean, calm clams jam.
I'll go with A1. Sorry.
A1?
A1.
They were a band, weren't they?
No, number 1.
Back in our day. It is number one. Well, Arthur Okonkwo is...
I didn't do too badly.
You didn't, for a change, which is unusual for you. Well, thank you very much for tuning in again this week. It's been an absolute pleasure. Well, it's been a nightmare, but it has been a pleasure talking to you, as it always is. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. The subscribers are going up very slowly. We will get to 1,000 very soon, hopefully.
It'll be a momentous day.
It will. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.